Alright, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2017 Baek's Battles, and I hope I actually get to record this one because I've been interrupted several times. Yeah, just like random stuff has been happening. So, let's see. We're still using Ryota's team. This is the second to the last time we'll be using this World Championship team. The team that won the 2017 Pokemon World Championship. And yeah, this should be a good one. I do have a new team planned out, and great, we're gonna actually find a opponent right away. So looks pretty high up here. Whoa, sorry about that. Yeah, that just came out of nowhere. But then again, I was like cleaning the room today, so there was a bit of dust. We got Milotic, Tapu Lele, Ninetales, Arcanine, Garchomp, and Snorlax for the first team. Very interesting to see Milotic. We haven't really seen Milotic much. I mean, we've seen it like at the beginning of the format. It was pretty decent when Arcanine was very popular back then. Well, Arcanine's still popular, but Milotic kind of dropped down in usage because, you know, Tapu Koko, the rise of Kartana, etc. So my opponent doesn't exactly have a good answer to my Celesteela other than Crocodile. Very solid lead, I feel like, is Tapu Fini plus my Celesteela, which I think is very okay of a lead here. I wonder if that's Scarf Milotic potentially. It could be Scarf Milotic. That is something that's, you know, decently common. I want to go Tapu Koko, I feel like, in the back for sure, because it threatens the Milotic as well as can revenge KO the Garchomp, which most likely isn't Scarf on this team due to the fact that the team is grounded. And Crocodile looks really good in the back. Whimsicott can get Tailwind up, which wouldn't be too bad. Mara can get rid of a... Can Brick Break? Which could help, but I think I'm gonna go Crocodile. I think Crocodile is better. Aurora Veil could be annoying in this matchup, yet I don't feel like it's gonna be as big of a problem as it should be. So I'm just gonna lead my my Celesteela plus Fini. I'm actually kind of expecting my opponent to lead something such as Ninetales Arcanine, which would be pretty solid against my team lead. So let's see what my opponent's gonna lead here, as I will lead my Celesteela plus Tapu Fini here, as my opponent is going to lead the what? It's going to be the Tapu Lele Garchomp, so very different from what I was expecting originally. Let's see what kind of Lele this is, if it's fast or slow. It's going to be fast, okay. That's information to note, as we will get the Misty Surge up. My opponent has no reason not to go for a... Well, I could just go for a Moonblast into Garchomp. I doubt it's Assault Vest on his team. Well, could it be Assault Vest? I guess it could. But I feel like Moonblast plus Heavy Slam is a fair play because I either get the knockout. Unless Garchomp switches out into something such as Arcanine, I either get a knockout potentially or just a lot of damage. So I feel like this is fine. I might lose one of my Pokemon here, but I'm willing to trade for one of these big threats because Lele is not a Pokemon I can really switch into. And Garchomp, well, it can give some troubles later in the game. So I do not mind trading right here, especially since my opponent doesn't have a really good switch into any of these attacks. But we're going to see Lele switch out. I'm guessing that's Arcanine. Oh, Snorlax actually coming out. Okay. And what's Garchomp going to do? Protect? Yeah, just protect. Okay. So that's fine here. I get maybe my opponent's trying to maneuver Arcanine, because I'm very sure you bring Arcanine as the last Pokemon. Like, you would have to assume Arcanine comes in. As we do get the Heavy Slam, that does nothing to that Snorlax, okay. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is you don't want Garchomp to go down. You know this is Specs Fini. I mean, everyone should know this team by now, so you want to assume it is Specs Fini. You don't want your Garchomp to go down for nothing. This is a pretty good time to get Arcanine in my opinion. You shouldn't sack Garchomp because it can KO Tapu Fini in one shot. So I'm actually going to go on my Crocodile expecting the double, because what this allows me to do is get an Intimidate off. And I'll go for the Leech Seed into the Garchomp slot just to get a bit of chip, but my opponent's actually going to stay in with the Garchomp, which is now what I was expecting. Maybe you don't have the Arcanine, which would be very questionable, or are you going to switch out Snorlax, which I guess, but if I Moonblasted here, that would have been a KO. Yeah, just going to go for a Tectonic Rage. Maybe thinking Fini's a threat, so I need to pick up the knockout, but maybe doesn't value the Garchomp as highly, which I guess is fair, to be honest. But Tectonic Rage is going to come out, target down the Crocodile, so I should have just Moonblasted. I would have been able to pick up a free KO, basically, so that's kind of on my bad. So Crocodile is going to be taking a lot of damage here. Yep. Leech Seed going to come out into the Garchomp, and let's see what the Snorlax does. Probably doubles up with a Return / Facade. Belly Drum coming out, okay. Definitely not the turn I was expecting. Definitely not the turn I was expecting. As Snorlax is going to be able to eat a berry here. And get some recovery. So that's definitely not the turn I was expecting, like, at all coming out from my opponent. But I guess this is okay. I mean, Earthquakes could come out here. I could just protect Crocodile. Or do I want Tectonic Rage to Garchomp? I actually think Tectonic Raging to Garchomp is the better play because I don't want Garchomp to set up a potential Soy Stance. And Leech Seed to Snorlax here. Although, yeah, I think this is a fine play. Because I'm not sure my opponent's going to Earthquake himself. Yeah, he's just going to Earthquake himself, which is a fair play. I think it's fair here because Snorlax is going to take too much since you're intimidated. So let's see. Crocodile not able to survive, but Snorlax takes a decent amount. Let's see if it goes for Recycle here or it's just going to go for like a return or something. Leech Seed will connect with the Snorlax, which is really good. I do need that Leech Seed up against the Snorlax. And it's just a return, so that's perfect. I'll be able to heal easily with the Leech Seed. And yeah, return does a fair amount. It does like 65%, I feel like that's 65%, but I basically get a lot of Leech Seed recovery. I can go into Tapu Fini. I already have a lot of chip damage onto the Snorlax. I just want to make sure what range I put it at. About 45? 50, okay. That's not as good as I wanted it to be honest. But I can go into Tapu Koko here, I guess, and just click Thunderbolt. And, yeah, because Earthquake won't be able to KO me. And I guess just Heavy Slam into the Snorlax. I'm able to pick up a KO here. -1 Garchomp won't be able to OHKO my Tapu Koko unless it gets a crit. So I'll just go for the Thunderbolt here, and I'll go for a Heavy Slam, I guess, into the Snorlax. Heavy Slam does more, although it might be special. Actually, Flamethrower might do more. I think Heavy Slam does more no matter what. I feel like Heavy Slam does more no matter what. As we will get the Thunderbolt off into the Snorlax, as that will be almost able to pick up a KO. Let's see if Garchomp goes for an Earthquake here. It's going to be the Poison Jab. Okay, so I do get a Beast Boost out of this turn, and Poison Jab's definitely not going to pick up the knockout on the Koko. Doesn't get a Para either, which is fantastic, as I will be able to knock out the Snorlax. Great. So Snorlax is a threat out of the way. I'm able to get a Beast Boost, which is going to be Special Defense, which is going to be helpful against like a Thunderbolt Lele. Yeah, this is looking pretty good here, although I wonder if my opponent does have Arcanine in the back. I really do wonder if my opponent has Arcanine in the back. And Celesteela is almost at full again. As you saw, like, it was weakened last turn, and it's already back to 177. Look at that health. Let's see. Arcanine, I would assume, comes in if my opponent brings it. Yeah, Arcanine's going to come out. Best play here is to switch out my... Yes, definitely to switch out the Celesteela, I feel like. Yeah, switch out Celesteela is definitely the play. I'm going to go into Tapu Fini. I can go for a Muddy Water. Because what this does is, since my opponent already used Tectonic Rage, you can KO Koko through Protect. So Soy Stance, I guess, could be a problem here, but I think I'll click Gleam. I have no reason not to click Gleam. And Gleam plus Muddy Water is going to do a lot here. So Tapu Fini, gonna switch out. And I'll be able to heal back even if my opponent goes for like a... I don't know what my opponent could do. Probably Flare Blitz is coming out, I would assume, and Poison Jab. I would definitely assume Poison Jab's coming out again. So we do protect Tapu Koko right here, as Garchomp's gonna protect. Okay. Are we gonna see a Flare Blitz in the Tapu Koko slot then? Or Extreme Speed? Okay, so my opponent's gonna carry the Extreme Speed here, which is fine for me. I mean, no matter what, I'm able to get a Muddy Water off in Arcanine, which is pretty much my main goal here. I could also just switch out Tapu Koko, go out into my Celesteela, which I think is actually a pretty decent play here. Although, should I be risking it? Like, the problem is I don't want Arcanine protect. I don't want Arcanine protecting. Actually, no. Gleam plus Muddy Water is definitely the play here. Gleam plus Muddy Water is definitely the play. Because if Arcanine protects, I get the KO on Garchomp anyway. So, yeah, I'll just Gleam Muddy Water here. The Tapu Lele is looking a bit threatening, though. It really is looking a bit threatening, but I feel like we have enough tools to win this. I definitely do feel like we have enough tools to win this, so I will go for the Gleam here into Garchomp. It does pick up a KO, as well as it weakens the Arcanine. I don't think I'll live in Extreme Speed, but yeah, Extreme Speed is going to come out. Let's see if this is a really bulky Arcanine. If it is bulky, we'll be able to survive. As Poison Jab's going to come out, that's not really going to do too much. And Muddy Water is going to hit this Arcanine hard. That did quite a bit of damage. I guess I could have just switched into Celesteela, but I never wanted to risk the Celesteela on a potential Flare Blitz call. So I will go for the Muddy Water here. It does pick up the knockout onto the Arcanine, which is huge. Yeah, and the Elite Seed will be able to finish off the Garchomp. So all I have to do basically is go out into my... all I have to do is go out into my... what's it called? Celesteela. Just go for Heavy Slam. Unless it's like a random Gigavolt Havoc, which usually if it's Gigavolt Havoc it has Z Nature's Power. No matter what, we're still good. So Pebble is going to come out here. Maybe I should just Protect to get a turn of leftovers, which is what I'm considering. Although I could just go for the offense right here. I don't think Specs Thunderbolt knocks me out. I feel like it has to be Gigavolt Havoc. Yeah, I'm just going to Protect here. Stall to get a bit of leftovers and Muddy Water. I could regret this play heavily. Like, I could definitely regret this play heavily, but let's see. Protect from the Celesteela is going to come out here, as we do get the Psychic coming out into Celesteela. I wonder if that's Specs then. Well, if it's Specs, it probably has Thunderbolt, and then it would just go for Thunderbolt. Although some don't carry Thunderbolt, which is fair. Muddy Water does a huge amount of damage, though, and yeah, since Lele doesn't have a move that can target both my Pokemon down, unless it's Dazzling Gleam, but Dazzling Gleam won't be able to KO either one of my Pokemon, even if it crits. Has to get like a Thunderbolt something. I think you have the only win condition here. You have Gigavolt Havoc. You go for it on the Celesteela. Maybe has to crit it too, because I'm not sure if it KOs normally, as well as dodge the Muddy Water, and then I think Psychic crits. You have to crit Psychic too, because I don't think the Tapu Fini is in range. So do pick up the nice first win, which is really nice here. Definitely could have went a bit better. Like the turn I called Garchomp to switch out, but instead of just going for Tectonic Rage, I would have just been able to pick up the knockout onto that Garchomp potentially, but I guess it still worked out in the end. I honestly thought Arcanine was going to be my opponent's play, which I think was logical, but I guess it didn't lose me too much. I mean, it did cost me my Crocodile, which, you know, I could have probably played that better. Maybe I should have thought about, like, how likely it was. I thought it would be pretty likely, but there was also a chance that my opponent didn't make that Arcanine switch. So, yeah, I just thought it was a safe play because the fact you dodged the Moonblast, you're able to intimidate the Celesteela, you get to threaten the Celesteela the following turn. But yeah, next opponent is Josh with a 15-13 rating with the Tapu Koko, Raichu, Murkrow, Araquanid, Garchomp, and Arcanine. So this is more like offensive? I want to say offensive team. This is definitely offensive. So I could go, what? Crocodile. I could go Crocodile here, which does pretty well against my opponent's team. It doesn't really do well against Coco, though. Marowak's pretty solid, though. Marowak is pretty solid. Shadowseki doesn't knock me out. There's like a bunch of calls I can make here. Whimsicott's also very solid in this matchup, actually. Yeah, I like Whimsicott a lot here because of the fact that I can probably just pick up a KO here onto one of my opponent's Pokemon in the early turns of the game. So I think I have to decide what's worth it to me to bring. I think the Whimsicott is definitely worth bringing. I think Marowak is also worth bringing. I think Tapu Fini in the back because Z Nature's Power is really good against my opponent's team. The question is, do I want to bring Coco or Crocodile? Like, Coco's look really tempting here because of the fact that I could Thunderbolt the Araquanid. It also hits Garchomp, since I don't think it could be Scarf on his team, I guess. But yeah, Celesteela, not really that worth in my opinion. I think it's between Crocodile or Tapu Koko. I'm gonna go Tapu Koko. I feel like. I think Tapu Koko is the play. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring Tapu Koko just because Araquanid could come out. I don't know. I feel like Araquanid is there just for like a Tricker matchup, or yeah, probably a Tricker matchup, or maybe a Gigalith matchup. This team looks like it would struggle against Gigalith potentially. So this is definitely going to be an interesting game. I don't know if my opponent's just going to go for Fake Out, or it's going to go for the Z move the first turn, which, you know, both probably problematic, as my opponent's going to lead the Murkrow and Tapu Koko, which is okay by me. I feel like I do get just a Tailwind up, although Foul Play is going to hurt. Foul Play shouldn't be doing too much. Fit Club doesn't add on to that damage. Yeah, so I should just be able to... Too bad I can't go for any Prankster moves on Murkrow, which is like one of the huge buffs that Dark types got in this generation, avoiding Pranksters. Could probably just Shadow Bone here, the Tapu Koko, in case Garchomp decides to switch in. I could see Garchomp trying to switch in. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe Foul Play turn one, maybe just go for a Tailwind. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely think it's foul play or tailwind coming out. This should definitely be interesting. Luckily, my opponent cannot knock out Whimsicott, which is a pretty huge Pokemon in this matchup because it helps against the Garchomp potentially, as we're going to see the switch out into Garchomp. So this is basically the best ideal turn here because the fact I get to weaken the Garchomp, I can go for a switch into my Feeny here and then just go for the Moonblast, which is pretty good. As my opponent's actually going to set a Tailwind, which actually isn't Murkrow faster? No, Whimsicott's faster, we confirmed it. So, not max speed, might be... It's not Sash, I think it's a Violet. I'm going to go for my Nature's Power here into Murkrow, and luckily my opponent can double since the fact that Marowak will be the last one to switch out no matter what, so I get to go in the Tapu Fini here. Tapu Fini will definitely be able to do some work here and just claim probably a KO. To be honest, Moonblast is going to do a lot of damage. Well, it either claims the KO on Garchomp or it gets a lot of damage no matter what. Not really too worried about Murkrow, although Taunt I guess could be an option. Protect Taunt could definitely be an option. Maybe I should just went for a Z Nature's Power because I'm able to knock out the... Actually, wait, can I Z Nature's Power next turn? Because Taunt doesn't prevent Z moves, so yeah, I could always do that, I guess. Tapu Fini is going to come out here. And that actually works out in my favor because I get 2 knockouts potentially. As Tapu Fini comes out, let's see what my opponent's going to go for. It's going to be the Protect coming out from the Garchomp, and I'm guessing it's going to be the Taunt. I would assume it's Taunt. Nature's Power and a Protect, Moonblast, yep, and Taunt. Foul play. Okay, that's even better actually because I still... Actually, is that better? Is that better? I can't KO the Garchomp now, but I can Charm the Garchomp because what I feel like the 2 plays my opponent could make here. One, I feel like my opponent should go into Coco here for the Murkrow. I feel like that's the play you would make here. So I'm actually going to Gleam Charm the Garchomp. That way my opponent does not have an option to knock out Feeny here. But we're going to see the switch out actually into Raichu, which is okay here. You're weakening your Raichu, so I do not mind. Murkrow is going to switch out too, go into Tapu Koko. So I guess this works out because I'm able to get a lot of damage off into the Koko plus the Raichu. And I have my Marowak as a switch in, so this is looking pretty good here. This is definitely looking pretty good here. Kind of seems like, actually, oh, Koko still does have some work it can do. Look at that Specs Gleam, that's a crit on Koko, okay. Okay. I don't know what my opponent's gonna do, but I could just probably Protect here. Protect my Whimsicott, go out into Marowak. I could see my opponent predicting the Whimsicott to switch out, but I think just going for the switch into Marowak here is fine here. Because there's no way my opponent should be able to knock out Marowak, unless maybe Shower Psychic crit or Hidden Power Ground on the Koko. But I feel like this is the best potential play. I get to avoid the Z move. As Psyshock's going to come out into the Whimsicott, expecting the Marowak in that slot, and Gleam is going to come out, which isn't going to do much. Let's see what kind of item this Koko is. Are we going to confirm an item here? That one's going to peter out. You're definitely not going... I could just Nature's Power here. So, that's not Specs. What kind of Koko is that? I'm going to go out to Tapu Fini and Nature's Power the Raichu. I don't know if he's going to switch out any of his Pokemon here. It might be Koko. I'm going to say him with both though, so that's fine. I'm able to get the Nature's Power off into Raichu, so that will definitely be able to pick up a knockout. And this is looking really good here. Like, this is looking absolutely fantastic from my side of the field. So I'll be able to get the knockout onto Raichu. The Tapu Koko is going to be able to go for any attack here. Into the Raichu. Yeah, it does KO. Raichu is not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. And Tapu Koko going to go for the Gleam here. It's going to do a decent amount, but yeah, it's definitely not going to KO. That was a crit on Feeny, and that was still pathetic damage. Let's see what my opponent's going to bring out here. Could be Murkrow, but I'm not really too worried about Murkrow. It's actually going to be the Garchomp. Okay. Garchomp's going to come out. You can't Earthquake exactly. I don't know what you can do here. I'm gonna Nature's Power to Garchomp. I don't want to Z Nature's Power just yet. I want to do that when there are 2 Pokemon alone on the field. And I'm gonna Gleam here. In case Murkrow decides to come in for, like, yeah. I think he tried to Earthquake here, or maybe Protects here. So, let's see what my opponent did. Yeah, it was Protect. So I went for Gleam here because it catched Murkrow on the switch in, which is exactly what I wanted here. So, now that Murkrow's on the field, I can freely Z Nature's Power the Garchomp slot. And I get the Gleam off here, so that will definitely be able to KO the Murkrow here. Well, it might not KO the Murkrow. Let's see if it's a Violet. Oh, that's definitely a Violet. That has to be a Violet. And right now I can go for the Z Nature's Power into the Garchomp slot, since it will definitely be able to pick up the KO, even through a double protect. And I'll be able to get a Gleam off into Murkrow. For sure. And basically, I'm in a fantastic position. I think I put myself into that position. Doesn't go for the protect / Tailwind. Maybe expecting a Tailwind from my own side. But now, gonna go for that Z Nature's Power. Gonna be able to connect with that Garchomp. Will be able to pick up the KO. And then Murkrow can't do anything to stop my Feeny. I mean, we could see that. I guess we could see the taunt here, but I could just switch out Whimsicott, and Whimsicott wins the game no matter what. Also, Marowak should be able to win the game, no doubt. But Garchomp gonna go down to the Nature's Power. Let's see. Murkrow just gonna go for a Talon, which doesn't help him in this game. And I'll be able to go for a Dazzling Gleam, knock out the Murkrow, and that's going to be, well, there's still Tapu Koko, but once Tapu Koko goes down, because it will go down to a Thunderbolt from Whimsicott, that will be good game. So, yeah, I think that team wasn't as problematic as I originally thought it was. I think the best part was my opponent's lead. Like, my opponent's lead didn't really benefit him. I was just able to get a Shadow Bone, weaken that Garchomp. It was already in range of regular Nature's Power, so I didn't have to go for Z Nature's Power. And then I always pressured him. Like, Whimsicott can be very scary to hyper offensive teams if they cannot switch in to these Nature's Powers. Whimsicott can definitely be scary. Priority will be able to knock out a lot of Pokemon, such as the Raichu. Z Nature's Power knocks out Garchomp, Raichu, and Tapu Koko, all in that game. Like, I had the potential to pick up a knockout on either, and the fact that my opponent probably didn't have Protect on Raichu, so had, or maybe not even Koko, because the fact you might not have Protect on Koko, since Hyper Offense sometimes doesn't run Protect on a lot of Pokemon that have a good move pool like Tapu Koko. Could have had Taunt or Roar, which is why I want to go for that play. Just go for Shadow Bone, weaken it. So yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. And the fact that Murkrow didn't do anything. If my opponent went for Taunt, maybe it could have been a different story, because it would have either forced me to switch out or go for the Z Nature's Power, which both, I guess, were potential. Definitely, I would definitely be surprised if Murkrow didn't carry Taunt, though. But maybe it doesn't carry Taunt. Maybe it carries, like, Quash, which is very common for speed control. Maybe not really that worried about Trick Room, because you can have Quash to, like, have those setups ready. Or, I don't know. Like, Foul Play, Tailwind, maybe Roost, because it was a Violet. Could have been, Feather Dance, I guess. It does get Feather Dance. Don't know what else it gets. Rafa from Germany with a 1550 rating will be our last opponent today. I swear, did we face this team before? I feel like I'm getting deja vu. But we got Tapu Fini, Aerodactyl, the Machamp. Was this Misty Seed Aerodactyl? I think I played something like that before in the past. Kartana, Garchomp, and Arcanine. So, man, my opponent's team is really weak to Z Nature's Power. It is extremely weak to Z Nature's Power. Yeah, there's a lot of ways I can win this game. I think Tapu Fini plus Celesteela is a fine lead. Like, Muddy Water, Flamethrower, threatening everything on my opponent's team. I don't need Marowak in this matchup. Marowak is not useful, really. Tapu Koko seems really good in an endgame. And I think I'll go Whimsicott, although I could bring the Crocodile. Crocodile wouldn't be bad for Intimidate. Like, look at his team. His team probably has... Actually, Arcanine could be Burn Up or something, so it might not be physical, but I don't know. It looks physical. It does look like it would be physical. Yeah, but this is going to be an interesting matchup. I don't know. I feel like I played this person. I just can't remember right now. And again, I can't really remember anything when I'm recording, so let's see. Also, the fact that I'm really tired. I just got out of class right before, well, no, it's been like an hour since I got out of class, because I tried to record videos right after I got out of class, and then, yeah, stuff happened, interruption. Like, normally I might have actually cut the video when you saw my roommate in, but he wasn't really making too much noise, or I didn't have to interact, so I think it was fine. Tapu Fini Celesteela will be the lead of choice here against Machamp and Garchomp. Very interesting. This is pretty good for me, actually, right? I don't know. Is that Scarf Garchomp? I can't tell. I could probably just fire off a Moonblast or a Gleam. Gleam won't be able to knock out either Pokemon though. I think I'll just Moonblast Machamp. Machamp is a threat. Garchamp's more of a threat, to be honest, but I think I'll just Leech Seed the Garchomp and Moonblast the Machamp here. I think it's fine. Garchomp's actually going to step a Soy Stance, which I don't think really matters to me too much here. So I should have just Moonblasted the Garchomp potentially, but the fact is I'm not really too worried about the Garchomp, to be honest. I don't think I really have to be too worried, since I do have my Whimsicott in the back, and Z-Nature's Power is a thing, so I don't really have to worry about that Pokemon. I do have to be worried about Arcanine, which is probably coming in the future, so play I could do is sack Tapu Koko here. Let's see, it depends on what it comes out. If it's Arcanine, I already have my step plan. I feel like I'm just going to switch out Tapu Fini, sack Tapu Koko, and protect Celesteela. Yeah, Arcanine's going to come in, which is fine. And this is definitely the play where I sack my Tapu Koko. Sack my Tapu Koko, since I didn't really need Tapu Koko that much in this matchup. And I will protect here with my Celesteela. Sack my Tapu Koko, go out into Whimsicott, switch out Celesteela into that Tapu Fini. Yeah, like I already have like what I want in my head. I'm pretty sure Tectonic Rage is coming out into that slot. I'm not even sure if Whimsicott can survive +2 Tectonic Rage, which is why I want to make this play. As, yeah, let's see if things go according to plan. It's going to be Rock Slide, actually. Okay, so looks like Tapu Koko is going to survive another turn, which is not exactly what I want. Wow, Rock Slide does a lot. Flabber's gonna come out. Oh, doubling up. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so this basically is what I wanted anyway. So Tapu Koko is gonna go down. Kinda went down pretty slow actually, but whatever. As I get a recoil on the Arcanine, which is pretty good. Get the Leech Seed off. Not surprised if it was Rock Slide, you're not gonna go for Rock Slide. Actually, Rock Slide Flabber's one that knocked out Fini. I'm surprised my opponent made that play. I'm gonna go into my Whimsicott. Maybe he was trying to catch Whimsicott, or I don't know what else you could catch. Crocodile? Well, Tectonic Rage knocks out Crocodile. I don't know what you're trying to get there. Maybe trying to save your Z move. But I guess I could just protect here. Leave Celesteela, go out into my Tapu Fini. You should not Earthquake here. If anything, you Rock Slide. If anything, you Rock Slide. You definitely don't Tech Rage here. So I'm going to switch out into my Tapu Fini and expect Garchomp to either protect. And if Flare Blitz is going to come out, yeah, I would assume that would happen here. Let's see. Let's see if Garchomp goes for Protect or not. I do protect my Whimsicott. Yeah, Garchomp protects here. Excellent. So I'm able to knock out the Garchomp in the following turn, and if it switches out, I get momentum. Flare Blitz is going to come out into the Whimsicott. Definitely worried about the Whimsicott. Get the Leech Seed with the Tapu Fini. Excellent. This is basically what I wanted to plan for, and now I get a free Muddy Water combined with a Z move, and that's going to do a lot. That's going to knock out Kartana. Does a lot to Fini if it decides to switch in. And Aerodactyl is going down, so no matter what, I get a KO here. Even if he gets a double protect, Z-Nature's Power plus the Leech Seed might be able to actually finish off the job. I'm going to make sure I don't mess up pressing these buttons. Z-Nature's Power into Garchomp. Muddy Water will be able to knock out the Arcanine after Flare Blitz recoil, which is probably going to happen this turn. Garchomp's going to switch out, so whatever's coming in is taking the Muddy Water plus the attack. It's going to be the Tapu Fini here, which is okay here, as I will be able to get a lot of damage on this Tapu Fini, gain the damage on Tapu Fini, and if I had that Arcanine stayed in, which means if I connect this Muddy Water, that should be game here, because after the recoil, unless it's Electrium Z, that's like the only Arcanine that could probably survive. Of course, this could be special. Oh, no, we already saw the Flare Blitz. So we got the Twinkle Tackle off, and with Sword Stance on Garchomp, you have to assume it's the Z move on the Garchomp, so I would not assume Z move on the Arcanine. I guess it could be double Z move. But that's been, like, that's an old time strat. As we see the Flare Blitz into Whimsicott, please hit this Muddy Water. It's fast Arcanine, so it's definitely not going to be able to survive unless it's maybe AV. Although it took a lot of recoil, so I don't think it survives. Nice. Okay, so we get the Muddy Water into the Arcanine. So Muddy Water will be able to knock out the Arcanine. Tapu Fini out of berry range, which is probably good for me. Gets the accuracy drop. That's really good here. So Arcanine going to go down here. And Tapu Fini is going to reveal leftover, so it's not even going to be like a berry. So I'm trying to figure out how do I 100% win this? Knock out Tapu Fini, or I could go for Leech Seed into the Garchomp. How much is it Garchomp at? I feel like it's healthy. Yeah, it's healthy. So I think I want to double up the Garchomp slot, to be honest, because if I get the Beast Boost from Garchomp, because Muddy Water shouldn't be able to knock out Garchomp. And even Garchomp protects, what can Tapu Fini really do? Like, it's a Leftovers variant, so it's not a Specs variant. So Moonblast isn't really going to do too much, so I'll just go for Moonblast into that Garchomp slot. I mean Muddy Water plus Heavy Slam since I am locked into it. And pretty much what I'm trying to do is get rid of the flinch chance, because my opponent can win if he gets a bunch of flinches and crits in a row. So this is the main thing that I want to avoid. So I'm going to try as many chances to get rid of the Garchomp. Even if Garchomp protects here, like Tapu Fini is already pretty low. As yeah, he's just going to go for Rock Slide because I think he knows that he can't afford me to go for like setup onto Fini, as Muddy Water does connect here fortunately, and it does connect with the Garchomp, which is the main target. If it didn't hit the Fini, it would have been not too bad, but yeah, I mean it's very nice either way. Here comes Muddy Water. Does he get any accuracy drops? Accuracy drops plus flinches are the things that are potentially going to cost me the game. No flinch. Very nice. So I don't have to get rid of flinches. I don't have to worry about accuracy drops, although Muddy Water can miss. He has his own Muddy Water, but I do get the Beast Boost. Although crit Muddy Water is still a thing for my potential opponent's endgame, as well as the accuracy drop. So, although it's very likely I win, there's still a chance for my opponent to win. Although this is single target Muddy Water, it shouldn't be able to knock out the Tapu Fini, however. So I will be able to probably pick up the knockout onto Tapu Fini, which, yeah, I think I'll be able to pick up the knockout on Tapu Fini. So I'll go for the Heavy Slam here, as Heavy Slam will be able to finish off the Tapu Fini at that rate. I'm not intimidated, am I? I don't think I am. No, I'm not intimidated. So I go for Muddy Water here into the Tapu Fini. So Muddy Water is going to go out into Tapu Fini. That's probably not going to be able to KO. I don't think it will. Yeah, it barely survives. So Moonblast, okay, so that's probably where my opponent choked. I think you needed to Muddy Water for accuracy drops. Because, yeah, I think you needed Muddy Water accuracy drops on my Celesteela, and you needed Muddy Waters to miss in general. So, I wanted to Tapu Fini at Protect. He could have tried to stall out, but maybe didn't want to give my Celesteela the Leftovers recovery as well. But anyway, that's going to be a good game to my opponent. So, we get 3 wins in today's episode, which is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Better than how I was playing earlier when I kept getting interrupted, but hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really shows your support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below, as well as my social medias, the previous episodes of VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles. If you want to go try out the rest of Ryota's team, you can check out the blog, the QR code, and go give Ryota a follow on Twitter, all down below. And yeah. You guys can also check out my other side series, Doubles Battle Spot, Singles Battle Spot, Pokémon Tournament DX, which is coming out later this week, and I will be posting some content on that, as well as, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. It shows your support, as well as feel free to leave a comment down below, share with your friends as well. Always share a video with your friends if you think they will enjoy it or you think it will help them. And I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll see you around in another video.